Good morning, friends. It is February the 1st, 2017. I don't know what Vlcd it is. It's 29th or something. And it hardly matters because I had a planned interruption right in the middle of it. So I'm down 1.4 this morning. I was down 2.2 yesterday. Yesterday I stayed on track. I had an apple, all my water, coffee, Cali Kicker. I had a burger with chili powder, salt and pepper, a little bit of ketchup, and some sriracha. And then I made chicken stock. And in making my chicken stock, I didn't boil the chicken and chicken bones all the way down. I salvaged the chicken, so I cooked it. I brought it to a boil. Once I brought it to a boil, I cooked it for an hour. Then I let it just sit covered for an hour. That was the first hour was on a very low boil. Sorry, I don't mean to sound confusing. And then the second hour, it just sat on the stove and cooled all in the pot. And then I pulled the chicken out. I picked the chicken off the bone, discarded all. If you do it when it's warm, you just discard all the fat. It comes off a lot easier than when the chicken's cold. And I've always eaten dark and light meat on every single round, and always lost, even when I've done that. So I mixed all the chicken together, both the dark and the light, and then you guys will laugh at this one. So I was at work. I'm a private nurse, and I made this chicken broth for my client who's 88 years old, and she has some issues with swallowing. And so I was trying to give her some nourishment in a way other than a bouillon cube. And so I spent all this time making the stock, broke the whole thing down, strained it, skimmed it. It was on the stove. I put it back on the stove after I pulled everything out of it, and I put it on a very low boil, and I was reducing it to intensify the flavor. Her daughter comes home, comes in the kitchen, tastes the stock, and says it doesn't have enough flavor. And I go, well, it's condensing. I said, after it sits for 24 hours, then tomorrow I start building upon the flavor if I'm making a soup. She goes to the cabinet. She grabs a Knorr flavor packet, which is these new little, they're wet. It's a wet container, about 2 tablespoons worth. And it's how you would make chicken broth or stock, the lazy person's way. So it's intensified flavor in a very, very small package. And she proceeds to dump the entire 2 tablespoons into the broth and stir it up. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, in reality, it was for her mother, and we are trying to get as much flavor as possible in it. I was just thinking that I would be able to enjoy the stock with her mother as one of our meals, just to sip it during the day like a tea. And so I just smiled and said, that's a great idea. And then she left the room, because then she tasted it again, and she goes, it still doesn't taste right. And I was like, well, whatever. You smoke. You probably can't taste anything. Sorry for anyone that smokes. I used to be a smoker, but I mean, that's just the reality. Your taste buds are off. I still hadn't added salt to it. Anyway, I go and pick up the package and read what is in the Knorr ingredients of this flavor enhancer. Of course, you know, one of the first things on there, sugar, palm oil, potato starch, maltodextrin, and then 4 or 5 other ingredients that I can't pronounce, which we all know that means it's definitely something that we should not be eating, whether we're on P2 or not. So it was fun. But I just kind of chuckled because it's sometimes, you have the best of intentions and you get foiled in your effort. So I have a smile on my face. I brought my own chicken stock from home to have with my clients. Chicken broth stock. I'll probably make soup since now it has been adjusted and flavor enhanced. Sorry, this road is horrible. This is this road that got eaten up by the storm, and it's filled with potholes. And that's why it's so dark, because I'm under the trees on one of my back roads. But anyway, so I've got a smile on my face. I have my meal planned for the day. Finishing up with what I ate yesterday after I picked that chicken clean. I did eat probably 4 to 5, maybe even 6 ounces. I didn't weigh it. Of chicken, and the main thing is to, if you're not going to weigh it, you better know when you're going to stop, because I've sat there and eaten, a good 8 to 10 ounces of chicken before when I'm doing that, because it's always just so good when it's hot right out of the broth. You add a little salt to it. Ooh, it's good. So that's what I had yesterday. I came home. I was a slight bit hungry. I probably should have had a salad, but it was already 8:15, 8:30, and my family was eating food that I couldn't have. So I just didn't want to get in the kitchen. I just figured I don't need to be in the kitchen. 7 minutes. Let's see. So today I have a green smoothie. And what's in this? Ice, water, apple, lemon, half a lemon, the whole thing, peel and all. I just throw it in there. A thumb's worth of ginger, which I did peel. I don't always peel it. Ice, water, lemon, apple, ginger, blended with a high-powered mixer blender. In order to get through all that pithy part of the ginger and the lemon. So I've already had coffee, as you probably can tell. I just drink my coffee black. Drinking this will cause me to struggle getting a gallon of water in today. So I'll get my 8 cups in, but I may not, because this is 60 ounces. I probably filled it up to about 44. And then I have another burger, no ketchup today, a low sugar ketchup I use, which is sucralose. And it's hard to find. I found it at Safeway, and I've never had gains with it, so it's fine. But the reason I'm not doing ketchup today is because I'm doing spaghetti sauce tonight for dinner. I already spiralized my noodles. I do both zucchini and crookneck squash. So I have like 2 good size handfuls of that. I usually, maybe I just steam it. Like if I'm cooking the spaghetti sauce, I'll cook the spaghetti sauce, which I try to do as little sauce as possible. I don't add anything to it. I just figure there's enough sugar and carbs in it. And then the carbs from the vegetables and the sugar from the crookneck. I want to say summer squash, but it's crookneck. So unless I'm really, really struggling, I don't normally add any meat to that spaghetti sauce, and I didn't bring any meat. So tonight, I'm just going to have 1 serving of protein today in my burger. If I need to, I'll have a salad. I'm only going to have 1 fruit because, again, I'm having the tomato sauce, and I want to keep my losses rolling in this first week back in P2. And because I already have the apple, that will be my fruit for the day. So that was a ramble, completely unplanned. I'm going to shut it off before I hit 10 minutes. I hope all of you are doing well. For those of you that are struggling after a cheat, just keep plugging along. You'll get through it, 3 or so days, and then you're back on the losing train. Forgive yourself, love yourself, keep going. go the distance. I just think you should go until you're done. You'll know when you're done. You'll figure it out. Your body will tell you. It'll stop losing. You'll have to fight. You'll start getting dizzy. You won't feel very well. But stay the course and keep doing what you need to do. All right. I love everybody.